Well, as you heard, this service is being led by volunteers, and it gives me very great pleasure to invite Gaby Lazarus, who is our volunteer coordinator and who is this linchpin in encouraging so many of our members and friends to become volunteers and deploying them in all different activities, committees, and other events at the synagogue. So, Gaby.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
So this morning's parashat opens with a scene that almost feels cinematic. Vayera elav Adonai, and God appears to him, as Abraham is sitting at the entrance of his tent in the heat of the day. Abraham is recovering from his circumcision, presumably weak and in pain, yet the Torah describes him as poised, sitting at the entrance, alert and ready. Suddenly, 3 strangers appear. Without hesitation, Abraham runs. He sees them and runs towards them. The Torah lingers on the details, the water he brings, the shade he offers, the bread, the freshly prepared meal Sarah creates. This is not hurried kindness. It is generous, wholehearted hospitality. But perhaps the most surprising detail is that Abraham interrupts a direct encounter with God in order to serve strangers. From this action of Abraham's comes a principle so central to Jewish life that it shapes our understanding of volunteering today, that it is greater to welcome guests than to receive the divine presence. Or perhaps doing good for others is itself a form of encountering the divine. Volunteering can therefore be seen as a sacred and holy action. Judaism teaches that holiness is built in small acts of responsibility, in choosing to show up for one another. So today's Torah reading is a foundational story of hospitality. Our ancestors modeled a spirituality grounded not just in belief, but in action. Open tents, open eyes, and open hearts. Their legacy calls us to action to ask, where can I bring warmth, nourishment, dignity, or comfort? Abraham did not schedule a time to be needed. He was simply at the doorway of his tent, open to the world. Volunteering often begins the same way, not with grand intentions, but with availability, and putting oneself in a position to notice someone else's need and take opportunities to support them. Our synagogue is a tent open on all sides. Whether you step into the kitchen to prepare hot meals for either Restaurant Tuesday or the Out and About Club or the drop-in, whether you help at the kit tea party or assist with comms and marketing for an event, or making a caring phone call as part of the phone a member group, these are all moments of standing at the doorway of our LJS tent, ready to act. Progressive Judaism has long emphasized tikkun olam, repairing the world, as central to Jewish identity. But sometimes we imagine tikkun olam as grand acts, policy, protest, advocacy. Those are vital, but so are the small, consistent acts of kindness. What does it mean to live by progressive Jewish values? It means to live hineni, here I am. Here I am to help. Here I am to listen. Here I am to build, to serve, and to act. Because when we say hineni, we echo Abraham, not just hearing the call, but responding to it. Volunteering is how we make that ancient world come alive. It is how we continue to build a Judaism of compassion, justice, and presence. One act, one person, one heart at a time. Abraham serves food and drink and offers shade to the unknown travelers. Yet this small act sets into motion one of the most transformative moments in the Torah, as the visitors deliver the unbelievable promise that Sarah will have a child. Volunteering works in the same way. One small act can have a substantial impact. Rarely do we know the full effect of the ripples that are created by these acts of kindness. A warm greeting at the LJS entrance door, an offer of tea or coffee before the Shabbat service, an empathetic comment at a bereavement support group coffee morning, some cheery advice and guidance as people make their way into our services. These may feel like small acts, but they can be so significant to the recipient who feels seen and acknowledged. So volunteering is a pure expression of a mitzvah, doing what is right simply because it is the right thing to do. When we look at ourselves, we should be proud of how we behave, who we are, and what we do. And volunteering is a way to affirm this. Collectively, it gives us the knowledge that we have made a worthwhile contribution to our community and our wider society. It is not about fixing all the world's problems. It is about transforming one moment of someone's world. Volunteering is not about having free time. It is about making sacred time. In a world that often values being busy over belonging, volunteering is a quiet rebellion. It says that human connection matters more than human convenience, that empathy is stronger than apathy, that community is still sacred in an age of individualism. Here at the LJS, I would like to believe that volunteering is not an optional extra. It is every member's responsibility. Volunteering is the lifeblood and heartbeat of our community. Every contribution to synagogue life, serving on a committee or on council, taking part in a service, or inviting people to take part in services, security duty, being part of an occasional rota, or getting involved with regular activities, these are acts of kindness that keep our community alive. Our synagogue isn't just a place that we come to worship. It's a community that we build through acts of generosity, presence, and service. Our synagogue thrives thanks to the dedication of over 200 volunteers, supporting our rabbinic team and professional staff. Our synagogue would simply not function without our marvellous volunteers, who we celebrate and acknowledge today. Our volunteers bring their strengths, passions, and skills to their roles, reinforcing the ethos of the LJS, sharing their ideas, creating innovative events, responding to identified needs. Our volunteers look out for each other, taking pleasure and pride in enhancing and contributing to our community. Speak to any LJS volunteer and you will hear similar comments to these two observations that I've had from members. Volunteering is all about realizing that the time that you put into your community helps the community to become stronger and helps you to find your place within the community. And the LJS is full of such lovely, warm people. And the beauty of being a volunteer is not only the benefits we try to bring, but the sheer pleasure, friendship, and well-being that we get from volunteering. So it is with immense gratitude that I say, on behalf of our volunteering coordinating team, a heartfelt thank you to all our volunteers for your sacred time, your acts of kindness, and your consideration for the well-being of others. You are valued and appreciated. I also want to thank anyone who is inspired to start their volunteering journey. Please ask yourselves, what corner of our community can I illuminate? Where can I show up? Who can I support in a meaningful way? You don't need special skills, just a willing heart. Whether you can give an hour a month or an hour a week, your contribution and support matters and will make a difference. Volunteering is also about encouraging others to volunteer. So I would like to offer you all a small challenge. Please reach out to an LJS member or friend who is not volunteering and invite them to get involved. If they don't know where to start, please show them our lovely updated information leaflet, which will be in the Montefiore Hall, which will explain how to contact me. Let's see how many new volunteers we can bring on board in the next couple of months. So, let us be a community that, like Abraham, runs, not walks, towards the opportunity to do something good for someone else. May we stand at the doorway of our tent, ready to see, ready to act, and ready to carry on bringing kindness and support to our community. Kane Yihirapson. Thank you. If you are able to, I'd like to ask you to stand for the prayer, please, for the volunteers. Eternal God, source of all life, we stand in your presence to give thanks for the contributions of all the volunteers in our community. The LJS is a Beit Tefillah, a house of prayer, a place of prayer and music, reflective thought and communal companionship. It is a Beit HaMidrash, a place of lifelong learning and inspiration. And we are a Beit Knesset, a gathering of people who enjoy each other's company and whose task it is to care for each other and our planet, to engage in social activism and create a gentler and kinder world. Volunteering is an act of tzedakah, righteousness, a giving of time, expertise, skills, empathy, and love. Today, we celebrate all those whose lives embody the values of inclusiveness and warmth for the sake of this congregation. To share our life with others gives light to others and brings meaning to our own days and substance to our hopes. As we celebrate this Shabbat, let us renew our tasks to be a light to the nations and strive to dedicate ourselves to the needs of our community. May the words of our prayers bear fruit in deeds of loving kindness. And let us say Amen.